What separates a gambler from a thief? Sometimes nothing. Sometimes a decade in federal prison, and sometimes not even that. These are the 5 most audacious casino cheating scandals in history, ranked not just by money, but by what they broke, what they exposed, and what the industry had to build from the wreckage. Stay with me to number 1, because they didn't go to prison. They went to Hollywood. Dennis Nickrash wasn't a gambler, he was a locksmith. And that turned out to be the most dangerous credential in Las Vegas. Starting in the 1970s, Nickrash physically broke into slot machines using tools he built himself. He knew the mechanics better than the engineers who designed them. Pop the casing, manipulate the internals, trigger a jackpot. His crew ran interference on the floor while he worked. Then casinos went digital. Most criminals would have walked away. Nickrash learned to reprogram computer chips. He sourced real slot machine chips, modified them to trigger jackpots on command, and had his crew swap them into live machines. On the casino floor, in plain sight. Over 20 years, he pulled $15 million in fraudulent payouts before an FBI informant inside his own crew ended it in 1998. He died in 2010, but his legacy lives in every encrypted chip, every tamper detection seal, every digital audit log in every casino on Earth. They built all of that because of him. Giovanni and Francesco Roselli looked exactly like the kind of men who belonged in a high-end casino. The suits, the composure, the easy confidence at the roulette table. What nobody saw was the camera. One brother carried a modified mobile phone with a microlens concealed inside, filming the wheel in real time as the ball dropped. That footage went instantly to an accomplice outside the casino who ran it through custom software. Wheel speed, ball deceleration, probable landing zones. The prediction came back through an earpiece in seconds. The brothers placed their bets after the ball was released, but before the dealer called time. That window was maybe 2 seconds. They hit it again and again across London and across Europe. Here's the thing about roulette, it looks like pure chance. The Roselli brothers proved it's a physics problem. And physics has answers. Security eventually noticed the pattern. Bets always placed after release, always with eerie accuracy. The phone was found. The operation unraveled. Their take, £1.3 million. Their legacy, casinos banned phones from table areas, retrained staff to watch when bets were placed, and started treating mobile technology as a threat. Because it was. Phil Ivey didn't cheat. That was his defense. And it wasn't entirely wrong.
Maybe the WPT is to start beheading people that cheat.
I mean, obviously it's unacceptable, right, to cheat somebody. Right, it's like, that's unacceptable.
Ivey is one of the greatest poker players alive. 10 World Series of poker bracelets. A man who makes his living seeing what other people miss. What he and his partner, Cheung Yin Soon, saw was this. Playing cards aren't perfect. The machines that print premium Baccarat cards sometimes cut the repeating pattern on the back microscopically off-center. One edge a fraction of a millimeter different from the other. You can't see it, unless you know exactly what you're looking for. Cheung Yin Soon knew. At Crockford's in London and Borgata in Atlantic City, the pair requested specific dealing conditions. Rotate certain cards, use a particular shoe, handle the deck a specific way. Framed as superstition. Standard Baccarat ritual. Nobody questioned it. What they were actually doing, cataloging which cards had which defect, building a mental map of the high-value cards by their backs. By the time they were deep into a session, they could read the deck before it was turned over. £7.7 million at Crockford's, $10 million at Borgata. Crockford's refused to pay. Borgata sued. Both cases went to court, and both courts ruled the same way. Not traditional cheating, but a violation of the game's fundamental terms. Ivey called it skill. The judges called it something else. His poker reputation survived. His access to high-stakes Baccarat rooms did not. And every casino in the world now rotates decks faster, shuffles more aggressively, and inspects cards for exactly the kind of defect he exploited. He found a door nobody knew existed, and when he walked through it, the industry bricked it shut.
When playing on the table, so much so that it's alleged he managed to get away with $32 million in just 8 hands. Quite an extraordinary amount. Somehow Crown did find out about this. That person was then told to pack their bags and leave, and someone from within Crown was given their notice as well. Crown says, according to the Herald Sun, they're hopeful of getting some of this money back.
No disguises, no gadgets, no dramatic exit. Just a man winning on every single time on machines that were supposed to be random. Crown Casino, Melbourne, 2013, one of the most secured gaming venues in the Southern Hemisphere, an anonymous high roller starts playing slots and winning consistently, suspiciously. Here's what was happening. A corrupt surveillance employee was secretly streaming live camera footage of the slot machine displays, to an external analyst working remotely. That analyst reverse engineered the algorithm from what he saw, identified patterns in a system designed to have none, and fed precise betting signals back to the player through an earpiece. The player wasn't gambling, he was executing instructions. By the time the casino understood what had happened, he was gone. 33 million Australian dollars gone with him. What makes this one cut differently? Crown Casino kept it quiet. No press release. No public disclosure. Because admitting it meant admitting their own surveillance system, the thing built to protect them, had been turned into the weapon. The perpetrators were never publicly identified. No arrests were ever announced. The fallout was structural. Casinos worldwide restricted internal camera access, separated surveillance staff from the gaming floor operationally, and added multiple independent layers between any employee and the live feeds. The house's eyes had been used to blind it, and nobody ever answered for it. Everything else on this list involved deception. This one involved math. In the late 1970s, a group of students from MIT, Harvard, and other elite universities started asking a straightforward question. What if you applied rigorous statistical analysis to blackjack? Not cheating, not manipulation, just math, deployed with military discipline. Bill Kaplan, a Harvard MBA, built the operation like a business: capitalization structure, risk protocols, performance reviews. J.P. Massar developed the core strategy. Jeff Ma had the mental speed to execute it under pressure. He later became the basis for the lead character in the film 21. Mike Aponte was a big player. John Chang ran teams long after others moved on. The system worked like this. Card counting, tracking the ratio of high to low cards remaining in the deck, shifts the statistical edge. When enough low cards have been played, the remaining deck favors the player. At that moment, big bets win more often than they lose. The MIT team didn't count alone. Spotters sat at tables across the casino, counting quietly, betting small. When the count turned favorable, they signaled a gesture, a word. Then the big player walked over cold, sat down, and immediately started betting large, capitalizing on an edge the house couldn't see. Across the 1980s and 1990s, the team won millions across Las Vegas, Atlantic City, and international casinos. Card counting isn't illegal. That was the problem. For the casinos, they couldn't arrest anyone. They could only adapt. And so they did. Mid-shoe shuffles to kill the count, biometric surveillance, behavioral profiling, team member photographs shared across properties. One by one, players were identified and banned. The heat became total. The team dissolved. The story became a best-selling book, bringing down the house, and then a Hollywood film. But here's what gets lost in the glamour of it. The MIT team didn't exploit a flaw in casino security. They exploited a flaw in casino mathematics. And fixing that required the industry to stop thinking about cheats as criminals to catch and start thinking about them as analysts to outthink. They changed what the casino has to defend against. Students with textbooks. No stolen chips, no hidden cameras, no inside men, just math. And it was enough.